Hello and good evening. USB webcams are proving quite difficult across the last couple of quantum dispatches, but hello, welcome back. And yeah, tonight we're going to be talking about exploration ships and ranking them from your S tier down to E tier, and then we might make a space below that before for Drake, but we'll see. So how are you all doing? 07's in chat and all that good stuff, and
I was doing
yeah.
fine until you came online with that damn shirt. The one that I wanted to get from the Daymar rally.
Sorry to say, but it's hot. It is warm. It's very warm.
Yes, especially if you got an AMD CPU. I'm cooking right now.
AMD summer.
How you guys down below doing?
I mean, I've had my fan in my office pointing out of the room, so it blows the air out of the window for the last probably week solid, and would recommend if you want to cool your room down, don't blow the air in, or don't use the fan to blow the air in. Use the fan to blow the hot air out.
I was going to say, isn't it the other way around? Shouldn't you be blowing the air in?
No, so well, in or out, but provided there's circulation. So I've actually got a fan in my bedroom, and both doors open, and then the fan in the bedroom blows in, and then this fan blows out. So it creates that draft, which circulates the air.
So this episode is 100% going to be called Quantum Dispatch. CJ talks about his OnlyFans. Is what I'm getting. What I'm getting from this conversation.
Yeah, but the point is that fan there isn't my only fan. I've got two. So
He's got many fans.
True.
He's got two. He got two.
Still more fans than GFA.
Yeah, not wrong.
How are you doing, GFA?
I am grand, stressed, but other than that, I'm grand. I'm very happy to be here. Very glad that I made it on time, and excited to talk about what we're going to talk about tonight. I think it's a really hot topic. So yeah, buzzing.
Some proper ship talk right now.
Yeah, talking ship.
Talking all that shit.
That ship.
So what's your immediate thoughts? Like, what's the one that comes to your mind when you hear exploration ships? Which is the one you're like, yeah, I can't wait. If you're solo or you're with your mates, which is the one you want to be in? Cruising amongst the stars.
Obviously, the Korok.
See, not for me.
Okay.
It used to be the Korok.
Everyone's gonna be shouting the Zeus ES right now. Like,
No. Do you know what? I've got one horse in this race.
Don't say Odyssey. Don't say Odyssey.
It is, man.
No!
It looks so good.
No.
Yes. Yes.
It's the Michelin Man of like exploration ships.
I love myth ships. I love the shape of them. I don't know what it is. They just get me, man. I'm so here for the Odyssey.
When that came out, I was honestly like thinking if they were going to size up the Endeavour, that would like the Odyssey would be the size of what the front end of the Endeavour would be. But yeah.
I'm here for it.
Actually, Pete, did you on that list that you sent of the ships that we were going to discuss today, did you put the Endeavour on there?
The Endeavour is not on there.
It's
not.
I was trying to think.
It's not an expedition or Pathfinder, though, is it?
But it is.
It can be. It's a multi-role.
Multi-role, so it has exploration, like functionality with the what's it? The antenna.
It's a satellite. It's like a deep space.
It's like the radio. Like
yeah, I think that goes into like an extra realm of exploration. The ship doesn't explore; it sucks in radio waves using the antenna from the exploration. I don't think it. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean,
I think it's definitely on there. It's science and exploration. I definitely think. In fact, actually, let's get chat involved on this. Chat, what do you think? Do you think the Endeavour is an exploration ship, multi-role as it is?
No for correct answers. Yes for being banned. And anyway, we shouldn't be talking about phallic manufacturers ships. I mean, you all know realistically what ships I'm gonna pick out for being the best exploration ships.
Cutter, I imagine.
I can mute you now.
Cutter is one of them.
Yeah, please.
Cutter is one of them. However, you still can't argue that even in master modes,
do not say Herald either.
No,
the Corsair.
The Corsair. Even in master modes, the Corsair is still the one that can pound for pound fight off some heavy fighters. It can defend
Yeah, but
itself very well.
that's combat. That's not exploration.
Yes, but when you're exploring, you're still going to run into combat potentially. Well, it depends where you explore. If you're exploring Pyro, you're gonna run into Pyros, aren't you? So having
I
that
don't know.
ability to defend yourself. So
So-
something like the obviously like the Aurora LX and the 315P are on that list of like the Expedition Pathfinders. They ain't gonna be very good to defend themselves from like an Ares Ion, but a Corsair will fight back.
Will shoot you in the foot the moment you run out of fuel and get stranded in somewhere that's larger than 1 AU.
Mm.
But
That's it.
Um,
I thought for me, exploration is about sustainability. Like I want to be able to get my stuff, get in a ship, and not come back to like civilization for like years. Pretty much like Star Trek Voyager. If you're going to get lost in something, you got to want to make sure you take everything that you need with you, and that's a big part of exploration for me.
Nothing does that better than the Odyssey, may I just say?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of range, potentially, but when it comes to survivability, in terms of like water filtration, hydroponics, making your food and stuff like that, we still don't know what modules the character's going to get in terms of
True.
size.
I'll give you that. But for what we know currently, there's no ship that can physically stay out in the black without having to land at all, other than the Odyssey right now.
Yeah.
Because the Odyssey can refuel itself. It can obviously mine Contanium. It can fuel the ships in its cargo, the smaller ships. So you can use those to recce or have you can fit a Saber in there. So imagine having like a Saber Raven. You can have like a fighter that pops out to go and do some short range fights, or even like a Terrapin for your pathfinding can fit inside the hangar of the Odyssey.
There's one thing it can't refuel, and that's you. So like, if you
Yeah,
don't find a
the
food
food is
source
the
and
only
stuff-
thing, right? But
and that's a big thing. Like,
you can currently get food from trees in game.
Yeah. So
So,
hopefully there's a
yeah.
planet that you can
And
get
hunting.
Yep.
So I think as it stands, it's the only ship right now that can physically stay out there, in theory, outside of maintenance on like components forever, right? Because of the refueling is the big part.
Providing there is a planet or small body that sustains life that you can harvest.
Yes. Yeah,
No,
100%.
don't
100%.
even need that. If we've got a cargo hold, you can get some space cows, throw them in the cargo hold, and you can get some space cow milk. And just supplement yourself on space cow milk.
Yeah, he's got a point. And chickens for eggs.
Yeah,
so I'm just
take out that Saber, get the space cows in. There you go. Okay.
I mean,
sorted.
the space cows are probably more aesthetically pleasing than the Saber is. So
Yeah, and like, if you get missile lock, you could just space one of the cows and hope that the signature's strong enough for the missile to lock onto it.
Flares chaffing cows.
Yeah.
all the methane from the
All the
cows as they're
methane,
popping
yeah.
them out. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Perfect.
What have I done?
What are your what? Oh God, words. The Zeus then. So you mentioned the Zeus, and everyone's going to be kicking off about. You said everyone's going to be mentioning the Zeus. What do you think it's going to bring?
Oh,
Because I think it's going to be probably. I think it's going to be like 400i in size when it eventually comes out. I think it's going to be big. It's not supposed to be. The sizing of it was supposed to be quite small, as in this same footprint as like the Spirits. But I think it's going to become a large boy. But
I think width-wise, it's got less width than the Freelancer Max. And the Freelancer Max, originally CIG did say that I think the Max was going to be like the largest ship that could go through a small jump hole.
And they've gone back on
point.
that now, though, so jump points don't matter.
Yeah. So, in which case, the Zeus carries more than the Max, has some nice armament to it. Like, it's got 2 size 4s. It's going to be really nice for, going in those sort of like, I can't remember, what do you call them again? Jump gates, jump holes? Like, they keep changing them.
Yeah, I mean, everyone shuns everyone's words. Some people call it a wormhole, but that's apparently the worst thing to call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's supposed to be
Jump points. Borderkin called it on chat. There we go. Thanks, Borderkin.
Yeah,
Always rely on you, man. See, that's why
yeah.
I need an exploration ship that can scan and catalog stuff, so I can remember the name of it on my Moby Glass and not have to worry about my own memory. That would be fantastic. But Pete, what about you? Exploration. Come on.
You asked about the ES. I think you'll see people who, because when exploration's in, it's not just, oh, we're introducing exploration, here's the train set you had, go forth and now explore within that. It's now, here is a much big universe. You need to get around the way that you want. And then you've got this fleet of ships at your command, and the ES could very well become people's daily drivers because it will be the one ship that can maybe do all and also get from A to Z without too much sort of fiasco in the middle. Can you imagine having to go off course just to go and refuel, just to come back and then carry on?
No ship will be able to do all.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No ships going from
could we
A to
pull
Z.
up? Could we perchance pull up the footprint, like the schematics of the ES?
Yes.
I can quickly, whilst we're talking, I can grab it if you haven't got it to hand.
That's right.
I think the one thing that's quite kind of exciting about the Zeus ES is like they're developing it at the same time that jump points and stuff like that are coming in. So like these cool sort of like first proper science and exploration features that are coming in, this is the ship that's sort of like getting built alongside that, and I wonder if that's going to dictate any of its features. Be interesting to find out.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because I feel like we've kind of already glazed past the whole sort of cargo update, because that's obviously been so delayed that we've just gone past it now, and we're already looking on to like 4.0 and CitizenCon and stuff. But I think we need to walk before we can run, I suppose.
Oh, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? So like with the jump point stuff, it's hard to, because the Zeuses are, for all intents and purposes, from what they said on that was easy for me to say. From what we heard on the Star Citizen Live, if I recall, the Zeuses are basically done. So they're going to be coming in when their gameplay's in, which is why I'm really hoping the MR is soon, because I want Bounty Hunting 2.0 like nothing else.
So,
but I do.
Yeah, they were added tentatively to the tracker yesterday for 4.0.
Was that all Zeus's?
No.
I think it was just a Clipper, wasn't it?
No, ES.
How
and
many
Seal.
people are going to be? How many people are going to be traveling with the MR that go, bring me the Wookiee? Just like trying to hunt down Han Solo in Star Citizen. There you go.
Right. So
yeah, bring the footprint up, because
when you say footprint, as in
you were saying,
you want to see the,
as in isn't there a picture of sort of the internals of like everything that's inside? They showed it at IS.
Let me go and find that.
One thing you need to realise with the picture of it is the size is not what we've been told so far. So the dimensions that are on like the Star Citizen website, they're very off. So I saw Spectre compared it to the Spirit, and obviously in its sizes, and said it's X amount smaller in certain areas. If you looked at the Sitcon video and what people assumed was the E1 or the ES, it's got to be the ES, and it is so much larger than a Spirit. I think it's got a massive size increase.
This is what I'm saying to you. This is what I was about to agree with you with. Like, if you just look at what it is, even in the MR, no matter what variant you look at, you cannot fit everything that's in that picture into something that's the same footprint as, let's say, I mean, maybe a Freelancer in length, maybe, because you have the docking, the suit locker area, the crew habs, and then the cargo hold, which is quite big from what I understand. Like, there's no way that's what do you call it size? Spirit size. That is a lot bigger, in my opinion. Yeah. And the MR is even bigger than that, because they've got to cram that stuff in.
I mean,
so
you can see from like the bridge, like the 3 seats there. I mean, the Carrack's got 3 seats on the bottom level, so that looks quite cramped for me. So I hope they do give it a little bit more space at the front there. But we'll just see how it goes.
No, it looks good though. I mean, the Zeus series of ships are one of my most anticipated ships, which is ironic because I don't own any of them. I did for like a very short period of time, but I really, really want to get my hands on one. I just don't know which variant. Do you know what it is? They all look great, and I only want to buy one, and I couldn't decide. So I was like, do you know what? I'll buy none of them, and whatever one
Takes your fancy.
yeah, I want to see all of them in game before I really make a decision.
Well, they mentioned on Inside Star Citizen that they had hit like a new sort of, what's the word, tier in terms of designing ships with the Zeus lineup. Well, that's at least what they said, and they're gonna say that because they want to sell them. But at the same time, they've been building ships now for like 12 years, and looking at this cutaway, I mean, with the 600i and other stuff, you see that the space hasn't been utilized very well, and they've agreed to that, and they're coming back to revisit it. That hasn't happened here. They've crammed this thing, and like areas that need to be spacious are, corridors look pretty much reasonable. It's a nice size ship, and it looks good too.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. It is a very nice ship. That's the Zeuses were the ship that drove me towards my concierge grind. So
I think
I'll be happy when they're out.
I think we should. It's unfair to previous competitions though to put this in when it's not in at the moment. So maybe, because this obviously, by the way we're talking about it, sounds like it's going to go into S tier. But how about we agree on something like stuff that hasn't been released yet automatically gets a -1.
No.
No, we can theory craft it. We can theory
Because
craft.
the thing is, if you're going to theory craft, then when you're comparing against stuff that's actually there versus stuff that's coming and hasn't been seen, you're going to look at one with rose tinted goggles, like, or glasses, whatever. Like, you're going to look at one and be like, yeah, this can't do this, but this will be able to do this. It's like, well, how do you know that?
Okay. So using that same idea train, then
You're going to go back with the Carrack and the modules.
We'll look at the Carrack and we'll look at it and we'll do it off of what it is now, right? We'll grade it off what it is now.
We know that it's modular. We know that it's modular.
And we know that Zeus ES is an exploration ship. So
yeah, but we don't know what features that it's got for exploration. Does it just mean that it's
pointy?
Decent light. Yeah, it's pointy. Does it mean that it's got good life support? Most exploration crafts, yes, they've got better life support than standard. What other things? Radar suite, maybe. I have no idea.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be really basic. Like, I think it's going to be super basic from what it can do internally. I don't think it's going to have like anything like all the bells and whistles like an MSR with in regards to like the radar dishes or do any of that kind of like advanced tech. I know it's a spaceship, but I think it's going to be relatively just the basic systems, but it's going to be the kind of ship that you can do as an everyday daily driver, very similar to the C1. I think when they announced it was kind of placed in between like the C1 and those larger cargo ships. It was, or not the C1, sorry, the C1 and the Clipper. It was it was kind of that gap was relatively big. Like, it was made very clear that the SEU space was a lot bigger. Therefore, it's going to be a bigger cargo ship, but it was going to be slower and maybe have better armament. But there was trade-offs, right? There's always trade-offs. So I think it's going to fill that gap in between sort of the sort of smaller cargo ships and the much bigger cargo ships. There's a gap, there's a grey area there which they're going to fill.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be super basic. I think it's going to be like RSI's Freelancer. That kind of level of basic, just doesn't have anything super special on it.
Yeah.
Just does the job. And yeah, I mean, the looks are what's selling this thing. Let's be honest, it's one of the best looking ships that they've released so far.
Yeah, it's probably the closest thing that I've seen that it reminds me so much from its size of the Rangers from Interstellar. Like,
I'd love that. I'd love them to put a Ranger in, get that license.
But see, if Crusader did a exploration ship, it would look like the Ranger from Interstellar, I imagine.
And it's pointy.
I'd say Consolidated.
The retail.
Consolidated Land might have something that looks a bit similar to that.
I don't know. They're going all kinds of weird ways with the Nomad and stuff like that. It's like, oh, let's give it like Gravlev. Let's make it shaped like a blimp.
Why
Let's
not?
just go for it.
I'm gonna just do a real quick run back to the previous point of it being a stopgap for cargo ships. So like a bridge is the small cargo ships to the big cargo ships. It's got the same SU storage. So obviously this is tentative because we don't know if the storage capacity of it's going to go up or down. But it's got the same storage capacity of the Expanse. It's not a cargo ship, so we can't really use that as a comparison for like the CL, for example. And yeah, so the next nearest somewhat cargo ship is the A2. And that's, I'm saying somewhat loosely. It can carry cargo, but it's not supposed to, and that's at 216. And then like the cargo ship before that is the Max at 120. So it fits just in there roughly. So I think that's why the Zeuses are going to be increased in size a bit. Well, they already have been, but like the actual size of them going to go up just to create that need for them.
Like you would get the Clipper, the Zeus Clipper, if you want to do cargo. But I'm gonna with exploration wise, I'm not sure what the cargo is for the ES.
I think it probably maybe if it was going to carry a vehicle, like an exploration vehicle, it could have a couple of little bits in there. But yeah.
In chat,
I agree with that.
Cries out the Galaxy.
No, Keikoro before that. I think the Galaxy is a better Zeus, and I'm inclined to agree with the refinery because you can essentially de facto becomes a exploration ship. It's just not classed as one.
Of course, it's a better Zeus though when it's like double the price.
But the Odyssey is the only refinery ship that can actually refine its own fuel and use it internally. Which the Galaxy can't do that as far as we know. So,
I think it will be able to. I don't think it can refuel. I think the Galaxy's module will allow it to refuel itself, but I think the Odyssey will stand out in the way that it can refuel the ships in its cargo hold using its refinery. I think that's where the Odyssey might be different. I mean, they haven't said that. I'm just assuming that that's how they'll do it. Right. I think it'd be weird if they made the Odyssey the only ship that can self-refuel, because it might put it at that scope creep in regards to or power creep, as they say. I know it's different from like a weapons standpoint in Star Citizen, but the idea of having a ship that can only do that one thing ever, I feel like they are trying to move away from that in many ways, even if it's just 2 or 3. So yeah, I feel like maybe the Galaxy will be able to.
Why would it not be able to though? Think about it. Why would it not be able to? If you can generate fuel, what's to stop you taking a box of it outside or a tank of it and just tipping it in?
Well,
just crack it open, just tip it in.
The Odyssey's going to
be. There's 2 arguments, right? There's the gameplay argument, and then there's the what you can do in real life. Like if it was real life and that ship could refine, then yeah, sure, there should be a way that you could take that fuel out and then put it in your ship anyway, because you've got to use it. Even if it means you have like a smaller ground vehicle that's designed for refining, so you could transfer the stuff into that and then put it into your ship. But in terms of gameplay wise, what GFA says, it's if the Galaxy is able to be modular and change up everything that it does, and when it gets the refining side, it can make it into a long range ship. Is that making it a bit too meta?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it can't mine it. So it still relies on other ships.
Great point.
It can only go as far as its cargo hold can carry containing.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Forgot about that. The Odyssey has a mining head. So yeah, I think, and also because it's not modular, the Odyssey is going to be, for lack of a better term, laid out internally with the pipes going to the right place from the refinery into its own fuel reserves or whatever, however it's internally going to be built. So whereas the Galaxy being modular, you can't really have pipes running internally to like a fuel section as a part of a modular thing, ripping pipes out, rather than just like a section of the ship. So I guess in a lore standpoint, maybe you can't modularly install a fueling station. I'm going to glaze over that word. You know what I meant. Do you see what I mean though? So maybe that's why. But I would be shocked if the Odyssey was the only ship that could do it. Purely because I think they don't want to have one ship that can do one thing only, kind of thing.
Because it would then bring in all of the trolls that would just be like, oh, pay to win because it can go and fly away and do all that stuff on its own. Doesn't require a large fleet to do anything. But then again, it is $700. So
The Galaxy or the Odyssey, sorry.
the Odyssey is $700. So if it was
So-
the only thing that can do it, or maybe if like I don't know, the Orion could mine and then obviously like funnel itself back in, then yeah, great, because it's at the price point where it can kind of warrant it. I feel. Not many people are going to still, and as well, the Odyssey is 6 crew, so you're not just going to like solo this across the verse.
True.
You're going to have a number of people operating it at the same time.
So I just want to know, do we have one of these cool sort of like, ABC sort of charts, and we're going to put the picture up of that?
Yes.
Because I think in terms of where we're at, I definitely think we should start. Let's look at each ship
We one like this.
and
Here's
start.
one he made earlier.
Here's one I made earlier.
And we cover
Okay,
it all
so-
in PVA glue.
Can I
I mean-
say one that is no questionable? There is no comeback to it whatsoever. The C8 Pisces Expedition is S tier.
Yeah, definitely.
It's S tier without a doubt.
Yeah,
It's
You
not
can do
S tier.
everything.
No, you can't
It
carry.
it is S. It is. It is honestly is because it's
You
like
can do
the,
bunkers.
for
you
the
can do
footprint that
everything.
it has. Like it's small. It's got a jump drive. Like it's
Fits
honestly
in a galaxy.
Yeah, it's got
Like-
low signature. Like as ships go, you can do a lot with the Pisces. It's become my daily runner, and for a
To-
good reason.
It
To
can carry.
combat that, though,
No,
to combat that, we're talking about exploration and going long distances and being able to be out there for a decent amount of time and actually explore. I get what you're saying. I do agree. It's a fantastic ship, but is it S tier in regards to exploring the great expanse of Star Citizen with the
Yes.
range and the durability that you would need to do so?
It is the
Yes.
perfect support craft. Plus, also if you're going on your
Support
own,
craft, absolutely.
support craft, but also like it's the right size to actually. It's one of the only ships you can fly into a cave and have people with you on board.
True.
there is not another ship on that list that can do that.
That
Yeah.
is true. That
And
is very
also
true.
like it's quick, so when weather becomes an issue, if like depending on what planet you're on, if you need to get out of an area quick, or if you don't want to take a large ship down with you, it's going to be perfect for that. So in terms of what it can do, definitely it gets an S from me. And then you guys will have to say that's what they do online. Come on.
No, I disagree with you. I'd have it as low as
Oh.
beta. Sorry to say.
Drama.
And I quite like what Keikora is like kind of touching on in the chat. Obviously, exploration is not just about flying and all that stuff. It's about, and I know you say, "Oh, I can fly basically anywhere because of its small footprint and size." But if you
Don't change the subject.
no,
We're
no,
on
I'm hating it. So
Pisces right now.
it can carry a pulse bike, right? It can carry 2, in fact, I believe.
Anything can carry.
I might be persuaded to get it to A, but it's not S for me.
It's definitely an S. Like
Mm.
I think CJ, what do you think?
I genuinely think it's an S. You can have a pulse bike and you can have anything else, but a pulse bike, you're open to the elements where you're not in a Pisces, and an Ursa or a Lynx can't go into every cave.
Yeah.
Because some caves are inaccessible by ground vehicles. So the C8 Pisces again wins.
Yeah.
The Pisces can stow away, go into a bunker, hiding from turrets. You don't even need to destroy the turrets; it can hide out a line of sight for that. And
Yeah.
we're just talking about on a planet.
Yeah.
The Pisces is actually using the most efficient quantum drive, which is the Lightfire, the competition grade C1, can jump 151. I don't know what we're calling it, gigamiles,
Something like that.
gigaparsecs, and it can go quite far. And I'm working on a comparison now for
Just,
another ship.
Whilst you work
Um,
on a comparison for that, can I just add this further point? Like when the time comes where we can actually explore dangerous areas like Vandal space, when you're going down to a planet and there's Vandal fleets going about, you're not going to want to take something big and slow down to explore. You're going to probably park your Karak or Odyssey on the opposite side of a moon, and then you're going to take the Pisces down to whatever planet it is, and try and get there. It's got a small signature, so you can slip past fleets and stuff. So, Giga
So
Milkies. Oh my god.
don't get me wrong, it's a high performance ship, but if we put that straight away as S tier and that's the benchmark, then where does the Cutter Rambler go? Where does the Carrack go? Are you saying that the Carrack is worse than the Pisces?
No, they like each of these ships have their own specialties, right? Like the Odyssey can like refuel itself, and that's I think on their own merit, like I think is what I'm gonna look at them at. But
Yeah, for what it's designed for, how well does it fit its purpose?
yeah,
and you got to also put into this consideration as well. The Pisces expedition is it has 4 cargo, so is inherently instantly better than the Mustang Beta.
Mustang Beta, I would say, was better. It's lacking one particular thing. It doesn't have a bed.
Mustang Beta is not better than the Pisces.
It has a bed though.
It can't.
So for
Why do you need
exploration,
to sleep? If you're exploring, why would you need to sleep?
When furniture comes in, you're going to be able to deploy a bed in the back of the Pisces.
you blow up bed in the back of the Pisces. That's a Drake.
Yeah.
That's a Drake. I'm sorry.
And then you can I mean, there was an Inside Star Citizen where they went down to Microtech and they got like that little bunk bed out.
No toilet.
Caveat in your situation now, it's 4 cargo. We all know furniture has just been physicalized. So your camp cots and stuff that you can get in your furniture can now be placed on the cargo grid at the back of the Pisces.
But the bathroom,
toilet.
The toilet. Deploy the bucket.
Toilet. You can't live on
Mustang doesn't have a bathroom, so if you're gonna
yes, it does.
Yeah.
Does it?
It does. I was in one last night. I would not be able to have a single word to say about it. Something like, "There's a bed in there." Like, I had no idea about the beta till last night.
It's got a bed.
It's got a toilet. So it's a shower and the toilet together. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
But you've got to like so.
I would rather the ability to just to have that cargo space that the Pisces has. Like honestly, because that could be people that are on stretchers that you're taking up from some planet. That could be cargo that you've sourced on a planet. You've got your Shoilet on the ship that you're going to, and they've both got the same range, I think. Considering the footprint of the Pisces, it's also quicker. So,
but in the case of the Pisces, or the case of all of these ships, we're marking them on their own individual merit as an own standalone ship. When it comes to the Carrack, we can talk about this, but just the C8 on its own.
I've flown the Mustang. I don't rate it, and if I want to go exploring in something, I wouldn't take the Mustang. So I would put the Mustang at probably like, I don't know. Can we get the graph up so we can see where everything's at?
All I'm going to say is, where is the Mustang's best in show skin?
I like the style of the Mustang, so that's why I'm thinking.
Right, so let's go back to C8. Right, where's C8? I disagree that it's S. I can meet in the middle.
C8 is S because of the size to functionality ratio that you have for it. Like there aren't many other ships that can fit in the space that the Pisces can that have a quantum drive.
What does chat think?
You could argue the Fury, but the Fury doesn't have a quantum drive.
Okay, right. So if we number it, right? So 1 is E and then 6 is S. So I'm saying a 6.
Okay, I think.
Wait, can we say 1 is S? Because like 1 is.
Why don't we just say S is S?
Yeah. Oh, okay, do S is S.
That makes so much more sense. Go with that.
Yeah. Okay, S. Yeah.
So I definitely think Pisces for S.
So you two think Pisces for S? I agree with Pete. I think it's A only. So why don't we? If chat can't decide to split the middle, we'll flip a coin.
Well, we just put it for now. We just put it on the line. It might sway. I've got a feeling that the longer we go into this, you'll probably see like some ships.
Okay, yeah.
Come on, Borderkin. I'm looking at you, man.
So we've got a B. We've got an A.
I came up with a number strategy. I don't know what the hell a 4 is. Sorry. Well, we'll go back on that. Can you
4 would be a
translate it?
B. 4 would be a B, right?
4 be a B. Spectre, I thought better of you.
I think people are tired of seeing us now, man. Like, just keep
Yeah.
it on that graph so we can keep track on all the ships and stuff.
Right. Let's so leave that in the middle then. Right.
Yeah.
Um.
Should we
Grab
take the
your next one.
Aurora? The Aurora out? The War
The War.
Oh, which one? Oh, yeah.
Or
the
okay.
Aurora.
Just
Just
Oh wait,
grab a
hold,
ship off the pile.
hold on. Dan's channel saying it's an S, so that's another S for the Pisces.
Well, we've had a
Hey.
B, an A, and an S. So on average, we're still A.
No, that's not how averages
We've got
work.
a C.
The average is whichever
I,
average
I think.
say
Oh, yeah,
is.
we were. You mentioned the Aurora when Dan's channel put S, so I think he means the Aurora is up here. Do you know what I mean? I'm inclined to agree with that.
No.
Get in the bin. Get in the bin.
Right. When's the last time someone's flown
Should
one
we
of those
should we take the
Auroras?
two off the top first? So that's the Zeus and the
Yeah,
Mustang.
yeah. Good
So
idea.
Zeus, I'm gonna say it's an A. It's a strong ship. It looks beautiful. I still have to wait and see what it's actually going to be like. So I'm going to say an A because it just looks so goddamn nice, and for the price point and what it potentially delivers, sounds really really good.
I think B. I think Pisces. I agree with you. The Pisces can do a lot, and it's incredible. But if we're saying the Pisces is A/S, I don't think the Zeus is in the same level. I'm saying B.
Okay,
It's a fantastic ship.
agrees with you.
That
we've
tailgate
got
looks a
two-
bit narrow as well.
We've got 2 A's from chat, but yeah, what do we think?
Right. I love the Zeus lineup. I love pointy ships. Majority of my fleet is pointy Doritos, right? I've got the Nautilus, the Galaxy, the Zeuses. Like, they're all pointy Dorito ships.
Yeah.
I think it's a B, maybe pushing a C in that boundary.
Wow, that's so harsh.
So I think it's. I'm going to go with a B, like for my point. But yeah, I just think with not knowing what it's going to be right now, like your point.
We honestly needed someone to be sort of like what's the word, impartial in this situation.
Yeah, it's annoyance though because when we're talking about ships, we all know different ones, so no one's going to be impartial.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, One Dark, what do you think?
Cats seem to love it though.
I really don't know. I would put it between A and B. I'd put it on the line.
And let's stop putting things on the line because then it's just going to be like, it's got to be one or other. I think it's an A.
What's chat saying?
We've had two
whoa,
A's.
Whoa, Spectre, we don't talk. Whoa, we can't start bringing that up.
We've had 2 SS. We have so there's 3 S's,
a B,
2 A's, and then an A from me. So I think it's definitely in the A area.
We've had 2 B's as well.
Yeah, which is why.
Yeah, let's leave it in A.
It's got to be.
Right, Zeus in A.
Okay.
Mustang Beta.
Mustang with your bidet.
See.
Shower and bed combo. Shower and toilet combo with the bed.
Because it's got the shower and bed toilet, I'm willing to give it a C.
You give it the C. Why the C? What makes it less useful? Just because of cargo space.
No, because Montreal are making it.
That is definitely a factor. I like how it looks. I like a Shoilet. It's nice to have in a ship of that size. But I've flown a Mustang. Mustang flies like crap compared to like other ships.
If you lose a wing, yeah, I'm inclined to agree with that.
And in terms of exploration and stuff like that, yeah.
C because Canada.
There's better ships of its size that can do exploration.
I think Akura is on my wavelength. Look at what we've got left to look at. Think about the scope of exploration ships.
Yeah,
I don't think that has any place being that high. I think D at a push.
Yeah,
I don't want to. I think E might be a bit cruel. I can't imagine much going in E other than maybe the Aurora. So I reckon it should probably be a D.
I was trying to be diplomatic, but yeah.
Yeah.
It could go down.
Yeah, we need to split. We need to spread it out a little bit more. I think D is a good place for that ship because realistically, what can you explore? It's a little bit too big for a cave, whereas the Pisces is perfect for that kind of size. It's a bit too big to land in. Like, I think, can you fit it in a Carrack? I'm not sure actually.
I'm not.
I think
I
you
don't
can.
think you can. No,
Or maybe
it's too
not.
tall.
The wings
Too tall. Yeah. So, like, what is it actually good for? Like, it flies, as you say, like absolute doggy. So, like, what what purpose does it actually serve?
Well-
I mean, it's lovely. It flies quick, and it has a toilet.
Yeah, being sort of like devil's advocate, because you heard me talk about it. I don't think it's a worthy exploration ship. I think the only reason why it's not going to E is because it looks good.
Okay,
Yeah, I agree.
That's
So this is going to D.
In the Mustangs, do you have to get into the pilot seat and then get out the pilot seat to get into the back?
Borderkin just
No.
said Pisces should be E.
No, okay,
What
cool.
the? Can we ban him?
Oh, remove
Is
the
that
moderator
possible?
privileges.
I've never asked that before, but can we do that?
All right, pick up the next ship. What we got?
That's going to be the Drake Cutter Rambler.
All right,
The Rambler.
CJ, you have
are
the
we-
floor.
Size
Are we
3.
grading the Rambler and the Scout separately?
So we were going to do that, but I've just decided, in the interest of time and us being traditional quantum dispatch, going, oh, we're going to be an hour. We're 45 minutes in, and we've chosen 3 ships.
I'm going to be an hour, so
Yeah,
let's smash these out in 15 minutes. then.
Let's smash them out. 15 minutes. Yeah, I agree. Let's go.
Alright, so you can see my hat. I'm a Drake fanboy. Yeah, it's not S tier. I think the Cutter is probably B, purely just off of it can hold what, a pulse bike.
What's
and
the
a-
cutter scanning variant? What's the one that can
Scout.
Size 3.
scout? So this is the cutter scout, right?
No, this
Yeah,
is.
so
Is, or is it?
That's the Rambler.
Yeah.
But it just if we put them both together, I'm just going to say A tier for the Cutter.
I need to know which variant it is because you said Rambler and then someone else said Scout.
No, it's a Rambler.
Well,
we
the
were going
one
to
with
do
the
both.
Okay,
Yeah.
and the Rambler's like the camper van, like can go far.
Yeah.
That's the Expedition. Yeah.
2 SU can carry a pulse bike. Has space for cargo. It's got a bed, and it's got shore.
And a Charlotte.
And it's got an extremely
got
large quantum reserve, so you can put a VK00 in it and still happily trot around the system.
So that's cool. I think I'm gonna put that. That's the only positive I can think about it. So I'm gonna put it in D. I think.
Well,
You put in
hate to,
D. That's
I'm going.
you were wrong. It's an A. It's a toss up between whether an S or an A. I think.
I think DC. You could say DC, like because it's not if you're traveling far, it's nice to have something as makeshift like Drake because if you break it apart, you can fix it on site with whatever you can bloody find. So maybe C. Why is it going there? That's
think
not what
B.
anyone said. Do you see chat? Everyone's saying C.
Yeah, I think B or C. I love the Cutter series, and I think the Ramblers are great. I think every ship, especially from an exploration standpoint, I look at it and say, could I live on it in the game? Like, could I live on that ship and be happy? Like the Mustang is so far at the bottom. The Cutter, absolutely, I could. I love the Cutter. If I was thinking purely on personal opinion of how much I love it, it would be S because I think it's a brilliant ship. I love the Cutter series.
Yeah.
But I think being, neutrally, non-biased, it's got to be a B or a C, maybe a C, but it's got to be one of those two, in my opinion.
You said C, I said C, Borderkin said C. Duck.
I'd have it at A personally.
Yeah, and this is a dictatorship.
And
I'd say B then.
Yeah, let's leave it in B.
I think we're in the middle.
Let's leave it in B.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Cool. Dealer's choice. Who wants?
Freelance.
Let's see what chat wants to do.
Yeah. Okay.
What does chat want to do? They want to go
First come, first serve. Let's go, chat.
Fine.
Think
Come on, the
I
chat.
think now I'm looking. Now I'm looking at where ships are lining up.
600 though.
Exactly.
Right, let's go.
There we go.
One of my
Nice
absolute
one, Dan's
favourites.
channel.
S.
Ah,
No,
that's-
S.
Where do we start? So,
S.
I mean, you know, it is currently one of the biggest ships that can be soloed, and comes with 3 size 5s. Its range is ridiculous, and its shields are ridiculous. I'm not an Origin fanboy, but as ships go, that is my favorite Origin ship,
I agree.
apart from the 350R and the M50.
You start listing all of them off.
I mean,
But
I'm
just the races. Just the races. They ruined the 350R when they put a bed in it. But hey,
Yeah,
I-
I agree with Dan. Solid A.
solid A, dude.
Solid A.
Okay.
Yeah,
However,
I love the 600 series ships, and the reworks coming soon, right?
TM. There's no refinery module. You're limited on
True.
what you can carry, but you will be able to supposedly carry a Nova once the rework is in. There's no top
Because that's
hanger.
useful for exploration.
I'm just saying, size of vehicle. There's no top hanger for something smaller like a C8. Is it A tier?
there is
No. I'd put it
there
somewhere
is a
like B
med-
or C.
med-
And then Burma is one of
there
my
with the
favourite
re-
ships.
You are making this a very good point.
remember that when the rework happens, it's getting a med bed.
B.
Well, there's 2 versions of it, though, aren't there? Obviously, we're talking
Yeah,
about the exploration
Touring.
variant, but
Yeah, we talk, the
it's
exploration
hard.
one is getting the med bed. The touring isn't. From
I think
what I understand.
the issue is everything Pete just said is spot on, and it makes me sad to actually agree to the fact that I love this ship. It's one of my favorite ships in the game. I think it's Pete was nail meat hammer. You know, you can't fit any other snub ships in. You can't get a Pisces in really. You know, there's no real refinery or any. It doesn't scream exploration. It's still, even with the exploration variant and all the rework coming in, it still screams luxury. It still screams transport to me. So it's hard. It's a brilliant ship, but yeah, I think it has to go in the middle. I think C.
I think it's a solid A because it's the only ship that size that is suitable for a small crew, even potentially one person. And with master mode sort of slowing everything down, including fighters, the bigger ships have an upper hand. It's defensively, it's got a really good shield array, which is great when you're going into uncharted areas. It looks good. It's going to have a rework, which is a plus. It's got a med bed. It can carry ground vehicles, and not only ground vehicles, it can carry a vehicle that's the size of a Tonk. So you know that's going to be potentially useful if you want to travel far and then build a base somewhere. You know that'll be a quick way of doing it. I think there's no reason why this shouldn't be getting a solid A.
The best thing that the 600i had, which is the only reason I'm going to grade it as high as like a C, the best thing the 600i ever had was it was invincible when it had the best in show skin on release. That's the only reason I would have had one. Other than that, no. Not interested.
Oh wait, hold on. It comes with a mini fridge and that's stocked with beers. So, you know, that's gotta give it something.
It does come with a G12.
Don't like the G12, but it's a vehicle, so that's
Here makes
you know,
Just thinking, yeah, I had forgotten about it. It does come with a G12.
it's got to be C or B. Personally, I don't think it's any higher than that. Again, look at the other criteria. Look at the other ships that are there.
yeah,
and
chat's disagreeing with you guys. S and A. Come on, it's definitely a solid A.
Pull up the graphic. Pull up the graphic.
Pull up
Yeah,
the graph.
there's an open spot in C there for it. It fits in there just nicely.
C for Corsair,
Kaikoura,
innit?
Dan's
What-
Dan's
oh,
channel. I bought
boy.
it. Come on, guys. Look, everyone's screaming
okay.
solid A.
Oh,
It's not an A.
It's a-
It's not an A.
But they're not
B.
the one
Yeah.
driving
Solid
the mouse.
A.
No.
No, if it goes in A, I'm rage quitting.
Yeah, on this one
I
opportunity.
don't
when it
even
comes
own
over-
one. I don't even own one, and I think it's a solid A.
It's
You
a B.
sold me it.
Throw it on the line in between A and B. Just get it done. We'll pick the next one up.
Yeah.
but more
I
towards
think
B.
it's-
No,
I think
no
it's
more
worse.
throwing on the line. No
Why
more
not?
throwing
No,
on the
Why
line.
not?
A little bit
I held
lower.
this-
Because
I
like
held this line.
we
When
just
you do your exams,
no
you get
one
B
else
plus,
does
A
that.
minus.
no.
We can judge them afterwards, but like I don't think the 600i is as good as the Zeus CS. So why would it go on the same line?
I mean, it's got.
I personally was going to put it in B,
firepower.
but
It's got a med bed. It's got more firepower. It's got longer range.
so
If
the
you're going against
the
Zeus-
direction was that we mark it and grade it on what it is now, not what it's going to be, because
Yeah.
it could change. You know,
Yeah.
don't
And
remember,
if we're going
Star
off-
Citizen
going off-
is only feature complete until he decides it's
The-
feature complete.
the Zeus actually, as what it states, requires more crew. There's 3 seats up front, whereas the 600i's got 2 seats up front. I
Three.
think
Just because it has 3 seats
Three?
doesn't
Three.
mean it needs 3
Two in
seats.
the one.
it's got 3. Okay, but then you got 3 size 5s against 2 size 4s, and then you've got med
It's
bed.
twin size 4s, isn't it? The
Yeah,
turrets are
there's-
twin size 4s.
No, the Zeus is twin size. The Zeus is size 4s, pilot controlled. The 600i is like 3 size 5s, pilot controlled.
But also, if we're going off what it's graded as now, the 600i getting its med bed is irrelevant because you can just throw a medivac or a C8R in the back, and you've got respawn. Anyway.
As of now, CIG have confirmed it, so that is there.
Yeah, but I mean, we can still respawn on the Pisces in the back of any of the ships in game. So
That is true. Yeah, or nurse a rover.
right, let's pull up the next one because
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're taking.
Can we just
time.
go straight in with the Carrack and just put that straight at S tier?
Yeah.
it's in the same place as the Pisces.
It's S tier because of like its data functionality as well. The fact that you're gonna be able to scan like jump points and stuff like that and send it back. Like
Yeah. Data, drones,
The only-
pool tables, a repair
3D
bench,
printer on board.
3D printer.
Oh,
It's an S tier all day long. All day long.
It has to be in the same place as the Pisces.
Well, yeah, and
No,
it
'cause
also
the
comes
Pisces goes
with a
within.
Pisces expedition and
It
comes
with the
yeah.
Pisces.
and it comes with an
So-
NASA rover.
The fact that if the S tier, the Carrack is an S tier, it instantly means that you're giving the expedition Pisces, so it should also be an S tier.
I think the only thing that all of these ships are missing, is probably because it's not in the game yet, is some form of science laboratory. Because exploration is also cutting edge. You're on the edge of the, you're pioneering in that new area, and to conduct research and
Endeavour.
science. Yeah, I'm leaning towards it. But I mean, like, if they did like a science lab module for the galaxy, winner chicken
Yep.
dinner. And really,
Yeah.
the galaxy should have been part of this, but it's, you know, by the Matrix, it's not a exploration ship.
by the Matrix.
So let's go.
The
which one?
Matrix has spoken.
Carrack is an easy win. Easy win.
Yeah.
Can we say the Terrapin is up there as well? The
It
Terrapin
is.
I think-
up there. No one's got
Terrapin-
anything bad to say against Terrapin.
Terrapin's definitely an A.
No bed.
Yeah.
Or is there a bed?
Yeah, but it can go.
You don't need it for what it does, for the scanning suite that it's got on it, the armor that it has is like the perfect little fleet support ship. Like, it's for what it wants to do, it does it well. Take care, Dan. Have a good one.
Just
man.
Dan just said Corsair
Corsair
is
is
A,
A.
so yeah, it has to be.
That-
'cause
that's a typo.
He'll just ban. He'll just ban your CIG account. So just put it in.
It-
Right, Terrapin.
no,
I don't believe
Terrapin.
Terrapin's an S. Not
No.
even nearly.
Someone said
Sorry.
B.
No, it's either an S or an A.
I think
it
it's
can fit
either
into all those small caves. But no one's got anything bad to say. The Terrapin's a better fucking dropship than the Valkyrie is.
Could you live on it? Can you sleep on it? Can you eat on it? Is there a chair? Is there a bench?
Fair
Like
enough.
exploration, to me, it has to be something you can live on. It has to be.
Mm.
That is the definition of exploring the expanse, in my opinion, anyway.
So what
I
would you
don't
say?
think. I think it's fantastic. I think as an exploration ship, I think it's a solid B. Solid B.
I'll
but
go with that.
But exploring isn't always about long trips. Exploring
No.
can be short trips. Like you can go and explore the wilderness around your house and all that sort of stuff. Like
Yeah.
you can do that in the day. You don't need a bed when you're going out and you're exploring a forest.
True,
Like,
and the
it's a
Terrapin
different
is
remit.
scanning jump points, right? It has a similar suite as the Carrack, so like that it does very well. But I just don't know. It's between B and A for me. It can't be any higher than that. It just can't as a vessel for what it's meant to do.
You've won me over, man. I agree with you on that.
Right, so we're going for.
There's nothing you can say bad against the Terrapin.
No, it just does. You can't put it on the same level as like a Carrack. You just can't.
So Bordercon wants reminding as to why the Pisces is between A and S, because it shares a lot of the characteristics, but it can fit inside stuff like the Carrack. It is smaller.
They come together. Like the Pisces expedition comes with the Carrack expedition. So by the sense, two of them come together. They come as one. So it should be S tier.
And they both got best in show.
You don't
I
win
mean,
best of show if you're not S tier. So
Thank you,
no,
Axes, for the
because then
raid.
Because then that means the 600 I should move up when it shouldn't. So
say that about the Corsair. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Let's leave it where it is for now. I personally still think it needs to come down a notch because the lack of a bed. But yeah.
You should be bloody impartial, all right?
No, I drive the mouse, okay?
You're the mouse.
So just
We
to
can
explain
do this
to
graphic.
the raidees that
I
have,
am the law.
just to explain to the raidees that have just entered into chat, we are currently assessing exploration ships and ranking them according to their current characteristics in game. So feel free to dip in, mention your favourite ship, exploration wise, and where you would have it on the chart, which is here. Hopefully you agree with what we've got so far, but we're always up for an argument. Right, next ship on the list. Let's do the Aurora.
The Warora.
The Aurora.
E.
Why?
No, D.
I think the Aurora definitely should go D with the Mustang because it's. I mean,
But then the Mustang has a Charlotte.
everyone say E, it's useless. But if you're on a planet and you're stranded and you find this thing there, you're gonna be grateful.
It's got a bed.
Yeah, but that can be said for every ship.
Exactly. So if it can fly,
It's E.
It's not
Yeah,
E.
it's an E.
It's got a
Agreed.
bed.
And
It's E.
he ain't got a Charlotte, so that makes it ultimately worse than the Mustang.
Have you ever tried to build a paper aeroplane before and you think you've done it really well and you fold it all up and it looks kind of nice, a bit narrow, and then you throw it and it nosedives because it just has no aerodynamics? That's the Aurora. It is the worst flying ship I think I've flown in the game ever.
yeah.
And I know we can't judge that on this, but by God, am I going to put it in E?
I think one thing's not being taken into account here, and that's the price point that this ship comes at.
Yes, and it has a bed.
And it's got a bed.
It has got a
and,
bed,
you
hasn't
know,
it?
And in
It
terms of like the cockpit, it's got a great view, which is also important for exploration. If you're flying around, you want to be able to see as much as you can. That's important.
No cargo space though. There's no.
I mean, you can fit a pulse in there. So I mean, there's no legitimate cargo space, but if you can fit a pulse in, you can fit a box in.
The mouse has spoken. It's in D.
Give them the
Okay,
D.
yeah.
There we go.
Right, so this looks like a 350R, but it's not. Google assured me of that. This is a 315p by Origin.
Yeah, that is the 315p.
It looks like the 350.
No.
Has a bed, has a
Has
tractor beam, has decent
Rather
quantum,
spacious.
Yeah,
Has a sunroof. Has a sunroof.
It's
And looks-
luxurious.
And looks good.
And it's customizable. Don't forget that bit.
No short.
I
We've got-
think that's actually our first C.
Yeah, I was going to say that fits lovely into the C bracket.
I think. Wow. Yeah. Nice one. Done.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, nothing needs to be said about that. I think that's a perfect
would
C.
argue that, but I promised 9 o'clock, so we'll just
Oh,
continue on.
Let's
Butter over
go
it.
back in time.
Okay. Freelancer Dure. Let's get that one out the way. The Freelancer series is, it's been neglected for a long time. It hasn't. It's only had one update, and that was to put the components in. That's not really an update. From what I understand in the lore, the Dure is meant to have its specific type of sensor suite, and it's also got the alien human hybrid engines, which could be really effective, but obviously we go on what it is now. Yeah.
So this is one ship I've never used. It's got four
What?
seats in the front, I
It
believe.
Yes.
comes with 4 attritions on it.
The only
Uh,
freelancer I've used is the Max, and it's bugged to hell. So I haven't got a good word to say about the freelancers.
I love the
The
freelancers.
freelancers all
Yeah.
need a Mark II, don't they, because of the turret situation?
It's
No,
got
they just need scrapping.
this also has fuel pods as well. So
Mm.
when Freelancer comes around and gets its rework, the Freelancer line is gonna be, it's gonna be up there because it's sort of like that perfect hybrid of human alien tech. So if you hate aliens but you like human stuff and you think you have a drunken night, you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna try that out. Freelancer's really good.
Yeah.
I
I
th-
love it. I love
yeah.
it. It's between A and S for me, personally. I just think it does everything that an exploration ship needs to do. I think it's well armed, it's well armored, it's got a big cargo hold, has turrets, has 4 seats, has 4 beds, toilet, shoilet, engineering station, docking collar, 2 ways in and out, so it's not just a ramp at the back. There's also like a ladder to the left, so it's accessible. I just think it does. I think it does everything that you need a ship to do well. And and the Max has the extra fuel pod, so it has the range. You could live on it quite comfortably.
Yeah.
I don't see any bad thing to say about the freelancer. Again, I couldn't put it at the level of the Carrack, but I think it sits very comfortably around the A/B area.
I would say B, just because of the issues around the Freelancer series currently.
True.
They need
Yep,
the love, and
they
that's
do.
no fault of their own.
Agreed.
But it is.
As I say, it's not better than the 600i, surely. But
I think it's on par with the
one of
600, to be honest.
One of the few ships
Mm.
I've not used.
I would actually drag the 600 to match the freelancer, I think.
No, I think the 600i is definitely an A. Just
We
because you won't see many people soloing ships like above the Corsair, above the 600i.
we are going to have to move these up or down as well. We can't leave them on the line. That doesn't exist in the tier list. It has to be one or the other. So at some point at the end, we'll have to move them up or down. The Pisces and the 600. Just bear that in mind.
I look forward
Yeah.
to fighting with the Pisces. Again. Right, okay, so next ship then. Chat, where are we going?
Come on,
What do you
chat.
reckon they're going to go for?
Connie.
Corsair.
I
Let's
think
go.
they might say the Odyssey.
Oh.
Oh no. So before CJ opens up, this is more of a combat vessel than it is an exploration vessel.
Not at all.
There's not I mean, apart from fuel and stuff, but for a ship of its size, you'd expect it to have that kind of range.
It's got a ton of fuel. It has space for a load of vehicles in the back. It has a docking collar as well, so you don't actually have to land it. You can dock onto places. It has a ton of suit lockers, which has been missed on a lot of these other vehicles. It's got a ton of suit. It's got a few suit lockers and weapon mounts, as well as large weapon mounts for your bigger your rail guns and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of doors in, which, knowing me and how much I hate Crusader, you would think that's a bad thing. But when you're talking about the way the ship's going to work, where it's like venting to atmosphere, you aren't going to vent a big space because there's a lot of doors in all the little individual areas. It's got a load of turrets. Everyone's got their own bedroom. It's not one of those fancy bunk rooms like with everyone in. And the captain's got his own bedroom. It's got space for a fridge and all that sort of stuff, which I think will work out eventually.
All these
has that lower lift
points
and the elevator.
all these points could be covered by the 600i, Aquila, Carrack, all these other things. But there is one thing that you missed out. That lift.
DPS is all of them.
Yeah, the DPS, but that's combat. So obviously it is a part of the ship, so it does get taken into account. But that is, to me, the only 2 strengths for the Corsair is that and its lift. It's one of the only ships that has a lift that actually goes all the way up to the top of the ship. and that allows for extra gameplay that you probably couldn't have with any other ships until we get mag boots in or whatever is coming in.
May I touch on one more thing as well, which makes
Yeah.
it an S tier, by the way. Most of, if not all, of the engineering components are in one spot, like in a circle. You can get to all of your engineering for your maintenance to keep the ship going in one area, so you don't have to run back and forth different levels like you do on the Carrack or the 600i. It's just there, and you can physically get repairs done quicker, safer, keep flying in a really sticky situation. I think that is a really key point to exploration, is the maintenance, and having that in one place. I think pushes it into the S tier for me. I think it's a brilliant ship. It's one of the best ships in the game still. As much as I don't love Drake, that is one of the top tier ships even now, and it came out quite a while ago.
In terms of that engineering and having all that stuff in one spot, is that as much of a positive as it sounds? I mean, in theory, yes, but I mean that thing is designed to go into combat, and if all its components are in one spot on the ship, that if it gets hit in that spot, then all your components are going out.
That's also true.
So
But
that
the
is
idea is
that-
you're not in combat, Ethan. So it's
So it's an E
not
tier.
a combat ship. So no. You can't take combat into as a factor for it because you're not supposed to get shot at while you're exploring, are you?
well,
So bring DPS into the argument, and then we'll bring all the components co-located into the
yeah,
argument.
I already said you have to count it as part of the ship.
Well,
So,
that automatically bumps the Pisces down, then, right? If we're taking DPS,
I
into
think so.
consideration.
No,
I think so.
It doesn't, because it comes with the Carrack. So it is tied with the
But
Carrack.
it's not as good as the Carrack. You
Yeah,
couldn't you couldn't go, I'm leaving the Carrack at home, I'm taking the Pisces today.
But
Like
the
it just wouldn't do the same job. I
The
think
Pi-
Pisces has to go down.
the Pisces is one of the only ships to be able to go through a small jump hole and travel all the way to a planet, go into a cave and retrieve someone.
And then
like-
run out of fuel when you're there. So I think
No,
That's a lot of fuel.
it's got
a lot
good
of
fuel. It's got a lot of fuel for its size.
But
So
no bed.
in terms of
No
if
shot
you
at
want to save a friend in game, you had a choice between any of those ships there, and they were in like a hard spot to get to, or you needed to get to them quick, Pisces would be on it.
yeah. Okay. All right.
But we're talking
Fair
about
enough.
Corsair.
I think both S. I think Pisces S, Corsair S, settle it there.
I think Corsair A, because it lacks things that are important for like exploration.
What does it actually lack though?
For a ship of its size, it lacks
A whiskey bottle.
bed.
A ship of its size is don't. I'm still salty about that. Give me my whiskey bottle back. But you say a ship of its size, it's not a big ship. It looks big because it's got big wings, but it ain't a big ship.
It is quite big. I mean, like
For its size, it's long, but it's narrow in
I mean,
the grand scheme of it. Like
if
compared to a 600i, a 600i will swamp it.
to make it an S tier, I think you would need to have like a med bed on it or something like that.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I don't think that's a fair statement, to be honest. Just having a medbed doesn't make it an exploration ship. That makes it a medical ship. Why do you need
It's
a medbed on your ship?
sustainability.
I mean, if
though,
you're
right?
if
Yeah,
you're
but you've got med
if you're
guns.
exploring, like it's all about sustainability, right?
Yeah, and you've got med guns to sustain yourself until you can get to a medical facility. If you've put a
Med is
medbed on
ultra
something,
rare.
yeah, a medbed makes it into a medical ship. The Ursa Medivac is medical. The CAR is medical. Anything with a medbed in it, apart from the Carrack, but then a Carrack is like a multi-role exploration already. But I think the medbed is
600i and Carrack both have med beds. The Aquila doesn't. What's the size of the Aquila versus the Corsair?
the Akita is longer, probably the same width.
It feels smaller. But I
Does
think
the
it-
Odyssey have a med bed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so like if you're traveling, like if we go from what GFA is saying, right? You know, you imagine yourself living in a ship for a long extended period of time. At the ranges you're going, if you travel to a planet and you go down on that planet and you break your ankle, multi-tool or med pen like stuff won't be able to heal it. Like there's certain injuries that will limit and gameplay.
They can
And you-
sustain it until you can get somewhere. So what's
There's
the
a
point?
lift.
What's the point of a medical beacon if you're going to only own a ship that has medbeds, which make medical beacons irrelevant.
Well, the point of exploration ships is you're going beyond the point of which medical beacons will potentially be useful. You'll have to have someone else with another exploration ship to come pick you up. Like you're going far beyond like civilization, which is why I say medbed makes it. Yeah, it does make it multi-role, but then again, that's the same with the Corsair having the highest DPS in game. Like it's a combat ship, really. Is it much of a an exploration vessel? If you want to explore the interior of other people's ships after they've been destroyed, yes. Like then
Yeah, but what's the point of your medbed if the Corsair's just destroyed your 600i?
well, I mean, that there's that. But I mean, when it like I mean, DPS wise, the 600i isn't far off, but it's got
only
better
2 size
shields.
4s. That is different.
No, the 600i is 3 size 5s.
Yeah, it's only 3 size 5s or 4 size 5s.
3 size 5s.
Okay, so it differs in 2 size 4s and 1 size 5.
Yeah.
So
But it
that's
has
considerable amount of
an
DPS.
extra shield. So like you got the defense. But we're getting carried away. Let's see what chat says about it, right? One Duck's just sitting there watching this blow up. Like
he's already moved it.
A, yeah. Cool.
I won't argue with an A. I do think it's S.
I still think
again, I'm probably a little bit biased. That's probably the ship I've owned for the longest out of every ship in the game.
I do think if the Corsair's there, the 600 has to go down to B.
Yes.
Has to.
It's not on the same level.
No, it's just not. It's a great ship, but it's just not. It's not made. It is and it isn't. It is and it isn't. Yeah, I think that's good.
The thing is, we're comparing the ships, but the level of exploration
needs to be S. Pisces needs to be S. Honestly,
we're comparing like ships based off of like exploration in general, but the Corsair will do a different level of exploration than the 600i will.
The only thing I'd say is the 600i is going to have like I know we're not judging it on what it's going to have in the future, but we kind of have to think about it a little bit. It's going to have a whole exploration suite built in with all the scanners and stuff, which the Corsair doesn't have. So arguably they should be at least on the same level. But at the same time, I do agree. I think the Corsair is just a better all-round ship.
Borderkins brought up a good point as well about the cartography station, the map room.
Yeah. That's arguably what would bump it up.
It's a different level of exploration,
plus medbed, and also it can carry a Nova Tonk
after the rework. Right. Yeah. 600's got to be A. It's got to be A.
No,
it's definitely got to be A because like
bump them both up. 600 up and Pisces up, and then
the Corsair up.
No, Corsair's definitely A.
Corsair stays. Corsair
stays.
The 600
Pisces definitely gets bumped up. Pisces definitely gets bumped up.
Still don't agree with this.
There's been times like in Jumptown where you could extract people without getting detected. Like it's that good. Like if you need to like sort your friends out in a really hostile situation, you're far away from civilization. It's probably one of the best vehicles to do it with.
Like CAX don't have a medbed.
CAR does, but
the
CAX
that's a different ship.
doesn't. It is, but they're still the same. It comes with the Carrack as well. So you've got the medbed in the Carrack.
Full disclosure, I don't agree with this at all.
Yeah, I don't agree with the 600 being A either. It's got graphical issues. Riddled.
All right. Anyway, moving on. Aquila and Odyssey.
Right, Aquila and Odyssey. Do Aquila first.
Let's get the fish bowl out the way. Like
S.
I love the look of the Constellation series. The one that I'm not a fan of is the Aquila. I do not like that fishbowl.
Really?
I prefer the other.
I do as well. I agree. Yeah.
And it's just because you've got all these like hard angles and stuff, and then you've just got this rounded thing at the front. It just looks detached.
Like, I love it, but I do agree the other ones look better. But I think I'm a sucker for the rounded shape over the pointy shape ships. That's why I love the Odyssey. Like I just love that shape. But I can't disagree with you. I think the standard Constellation face is a better looking design. But the trailer do you remember the Constellation trailer came out?
The bones getting thrown up.
Solid.
this is essentially the first ship that got people into exploration,
Yeah.
apart from the Djur. Like the
Yeah.
Djur and the Keeler were like the first proper exploration ships. So I think they need to be held with some element of respect. Plus, this one, I don't own it, nor would I own it. Like it has a snub fighter at the back, which you know can be useful if you want to fly down to a planet and explore it rather than taking the whole ship down with you.
I think it's A myself.
I think high B.
Doesn't have a med bed.
It
It does
doesn't.
though if you put a Nurse Rover on it.
Yeah, but so does the Carrack. So not the Carrack, the Corsair. Sorry.
Carrack's already got a med bed on it.
Yeah, the Corsair will have a med bed if you put an Ursa over on it. So
It's an A. It's been
your
picked.
argument is illegitimate.
Yeah, it's B or A, isn't it? It's one of the two. It's not S. It's definitely not C. So it's got to be A or B. I'm
Chat,
happy
what do
either
you
way.
think?
Does it
Right,
come?
well, I would love to finish this argument.
No, you
however,
are going to finish it
oh,
because
yeah,
you've got
I
one
am.
more.
I think
we got
it-
one more. So I'm going to say that the Odyssey is currently not in the game. It has everything you want from an exploration ship and can change for either way. So it is going to be an S tier regardless. There is no if, no buts. The
Agreed.
Odyssey is S tier. If anyone says that it should be anywhere else other than S tier, you are an alien sympathizer.
So I'm not an alien
So-
sympathizer, but I think it's a high A.
No.
And that is
So-
the only reason for that is being like you could go from point A to point B, but there's no point in you going there if your guy's going to starve and die on the way. And when you've got ships this big, you want some sort of modularity on there where you can have food. You don't just want to rely on cargo. Your cargo could run out, and you want to, or you could go through a jump point, and that jump point, if it's a temporary one, could close. And if you're stuck, what are you going to survive on? You want to be able to make sure you can live for a long period of time, especially if you're traveling long distances. So that's why I think it's a high A, because it can go the distance, but can it keep you with it as it's going for the distance? I don't know.
Yeah, but can the
But
can
yeah.
the
Big
600
Benny's
I do
machine.
that either?
But the Carrack not only hasn't got its modularity yet, but it also hasn't even been explained what modules are going to be there. That might not have a food module, so then it's in the same
Exactly.
boat, right?
I mean, we don't know yet, but we know that it's got other stuff coming in. Whereas like the Odyssey,
Still concept.
it's still concept, and it's the one strong point for it, like, is definitely being able to refine and mine stuff like that. That's incredible. Borderkin, I just want to highlight, he mentioned these problems can be solved by Big Benny's vending machine or eating the crew.
Mm-hmm.
I don't particularly want my character to turn into a cannibal, so I'm not okay with that.
So I'm going to circle back now. Now with the picked all of the ships, you guys can argue it out. You're all wrong. Apart from GFA. GFA is actually the person that's
Well, hold
seen
on.
the
We
most
agreed
sense.
on the we agreed on the Pisces.
Yeah, okay, we agreed on the Pisces, but we disagreed on the Corsair.
Is-
so
is-
we're a mutual level
Okay,
here.
I mean, I'll say, okay, the Corsair could be a high A. How's that?
Yeah, it's so high it verges into S.
Yeah, a high A. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Before you
so
go.
fucking high. Yeah.
Before you go, Pisces.
It's licking S tier.
Is the Pisces going to be one like the Gladius that is going to lose its quantum drive in future?
what?
Potentially.
What's losing its quantum drive? The Gladius? Wait,
Yeah.
what?
All light fighters effectively should.
Is that
Oh.
is that actually confirmed?
Yeah.
Well, they don't have jump drives.
They don't have jump drives, but they
they
got quantum
shouldn't be.
drives.
Yes,
I'm
they've
gonna do
got
some
different,
research in
and
the
you need a
background.
jump drive to maintain a jump sphincter, so you can jump through it.
A jump sphincter. Oh no! Oh no!
So
I mean,
yeah.
the fact is, the size of the Pisces, the fact that what you can store in the back of it, how quick it is, and it is a snub with a quantum drive. There's no other snub with a quantum drive.
So, yeah, I mean, but again, we're going off of what it is now. So don't try and use that as a reason to drop the prices down. Prices stays S tier.
Kaikoura's just talking shit right now. What the hell's going on here? You people need Jesus. Just saying.
Right, so on that bombshell, I'm going to run because I'm very late already.
Thanks for joining,
I feel
buddy.
like we've done a disservice by not having something in E.
Okay, put the Aurora in E. Out of the Mustang and the Aurora Aurora is the E. The Mustang does everything the E
I
does,
think
just doesn't have a
that
toilet.
that's unfair to people that have just joined the game and started. I know that compared to all these other ships, those are absolute shite. But we have to account how much these ships cost compared to like the other ones. They are the basic. Why is there nothing in E? Because I mean, there's not many exploration ships. There's loads of combat ships. Most exploration ships fill their own niche or do all rounders pretty well. So that's why nothing's in E, because there's not many ships in this category compared to other categories like combat.
I reckon we get that graphic afterwards, one dot, put it on socials,
Yeah, it's going.
see what the community think.
No, hold it.
And then next week we come back to this, see what the general consensus was, and then maybe crack on in like a different category or ground vehicles exploration. But I'm going. Enjoy the rest of your nights, guys. And it's been a pleasure. 07 chats. Goodbye.
07.
Is he going to leave that Corsair picture?
You damn right I am.
Right, so
yeah, let's take a screenshot of that.
Not yet. It's fine. So we've got the matrix up for the Aurora, and I know you say it's not fair to the people who started out and maybe have purchased an Aurora, but I think they get the MR, don't they, as part of the package. So 0 cargo.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so you say, I mean, this is still starter ship. I think when I started, I think it was the LX that I picked up.
Sorry, I muted myself without realizing in Discord for quite a while.
Oh right, okay.
No. What I was saying was I don't think we should bring in the price of the ship into the argument, because ultimately we're comparing the ship as a ship in the game as you've bought it in the game. And I know the price in the game matters, but if you're grinding out ships and you want to look for, if you Googled best exploration ship in Star Citizen and then you found a video and it was just talking about the ships as they are, forget about the fact that you can buy them with real money, forget about all of that. The Aurora probably wouldn't even be in the conversation because it wouldn't really do anything that well. And I think that's important to remember. I don't think looking at price is a good idea.
I can't agree with you on that, purely for the fact. I mean, if you're talking about real life money, I can agree with you on that, because that's always going to be a plus point against something where there is probably no plus point there. But when it comes to in-game cash, imagine you're like a player in Area 18 and you're like, I've been here for ages, I can't get out. I've been working at this job for ages, I want to get off planet. The first ship on this list that you would be able to afford and buy and get off planet with would be that Aurora. So I think if you take price away from it, you're pretty much clipping its wings. It's got no other strengths on there. That would be like saying medbeds are multi-role, so we're going to take them off the ships and not call them, not add to their sort of like score.
I agree, but I think the Mustang is so close in price, and if we are going to look at price, we need to reevaluate a lot of the list in many ways, because some of those ships are outrageously much more expensive than the others. Like the Cutter would probably bump straight up. That's one of the cheapest ships on there, and it does a lot. So the Cutter should be A if we're looking at price. Do you see what I'm saying? So
you're right there. So I mean, what's the price of the Mustang versus the Aurora that we got on there?
I think it's about $5 difference, but I will check right now.
If that's the case, like the Mustang looks so much nicer than the Aurora, in my
Hmm.
opinion. And for that instance, I would wait for the extra $5 or 50,000 UEC in game to
So
get the Mustang. So I would put the Aurora in E.
the Aurora is 38 and the Mustang I think is 43, although Pete's going to do a proper check on the comparison, but I think it is that close. I think it is literally £5.
Mustang
It-
Beta is
Mustang
40.
is 40.
How much is the Aurora
35.
MR? Yeah, so it's £5 difference.
The MR is 30. Is it the LX that's the exploration one?
Oh no, that's the luxury one, isn't it? Isn't it?
No. Exploration Pathfinder.
Oh, the LX.
LX.
Okay.
Okay. So, Aurora B, I mean, even though it's cheaper, it doesn't look that great. I could be happy with putting the Aurora in E.
I think it's the right thing to do.
It's got an engine. It can fly. That's the one point that puts it in E. Otherwise, it'd be falling off the board.
Sadly, I mean, I actually do like it I know I was sort of dogging on it earlier as a bit of joke, but I think it's a good ship. I think it has a place in the game, and I actually really enjoy whenever I see one.
Yeah.
Even when I fly one outside of Atmo, I really enjoy it. In Atmo, it's horrific, but out in space, it's great fun. Love the amount of visibility in there.
Yeah.
But as an exploration ship, I just don't think it does anything particularly well. And the Mustang, I think you'd always pick a Mustang over the Aurora if you had a choice between the two.
Oh, definitely, 100%. And also, when furniture and crafting come in with base building, which they will do soon, you could make a little living room in the back of your Pisces. So these whole beds in like small one-seater ships like that, I kind of wish they would like get rid of them. To be in fact, like the 350R with the bed for me, even though it's not an exploration ship, it's a racing ship. It bothers me so much because you could have another intake, you could have a larger power supply, all this stuff to make that a better racing vehicle. It shouldn't need a bed. If you wanted a bed or something like that, you should get like a portable one that you could put in the storage of the ship. That for single seaters, like I just having a bed in them, it just slightly annoys me a little bit. But hey, I'm a ship snob and I've got lots of ships. So it's just, I'm talking from a point of going, someone new here going, well, I've only got one and I like it.
Cool. I think we've done a good job.
Yeah.
Can we see the list one last time? I think we've done a solid job. I think
Yeah.
I think every ship is in the place it should be. I am gutted the Constellation isn't higher, but I do think it's in the right place. Yeah,
I think just the only thing that's not pushing the Freelancer and the Constellation up is no fault of their own. It's just they've been left behind by CIG. If you notice all the things up the top there, they're either like the most recent or super, like 600 Eyes getting a rework.
Yeah.
Pretty much all those others are pretty damn new.
Yeah, I agree. It could if they did a rework of those two ships, I think we could see the Constellation and the Freelancer come back at an A tier, maybe S, maybe. But it depends on what the reworks entailed. But I think they both need a bit of love. Freelancer, more than any ship in the game right now, in my opinion, needs some love. I know it's had some stuff done recently, like a little pass to get the buttons and stuff working, and it needs a whole. It needs like a whole TLC, right?
I put a post on Spectrum about the Freelancer series, and that's all of them, including the Dürr. And I just think for a ship of its size, having those 4 seats up front is not needed. That turret at the back, that where it comes down, it blocks stuff coming in. That needs to be a remote turret. There's things that can improve it. Pete, before you do that, mate, why is QD and C, D, and E? No, we were doing so well. Guys, where would you put the QD logo on here?
No, because that was
Space
alluded
League.
to our upcoming one at some point when we're doing fellow content creators.
Oh god.
QT.
Board gamer.
Who would you rate as an S?
As a content creator,
Yeah,
as a Star Citizen.
I know
specifically
exactly
content
who I've got in my head, and like it can be under just the first person. You go. Do you know what, that person's fucking awesome at what they do?
creator. Fatbird.
Yes, I agree with that completely.
Is-
And then Void Dude is up there. Is an A at least, maybe
Yeah,
an S.
Is entertaining.
Those two.
board
Yeah.
board gamer for me is S tier because since I've been in following this community, he's introduced me to synchronizers. He every time I meet him at like a live event, he's always got time. He mingles so well with multiple people. Like it's quite hard when you have that level of fame to like try and make time for everyone. But he generally has a good conversation with you, and he's just generally a really nice dude. So he's always going to have my support, as well as you two, for being the content creators that you are. And I've seen that video that you did, GFA, and it was pretty damn awesome with the
Thanks,
visual
man.
effects that you put in there. So
Thank you,
that's
man.
cool.
Well, you might
Um,
have heard the passion leaking out when he was talking about the freelancer. Have you seen his freelancer video?
Which one is it?
We'll link it on YouTube somewhere on
Oh wait,
screen.
no,
right now.
the one that GFA.
Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
yeah, completely agree with everything you said about Board Gamer.
Oh yeah, I love Board. He was the nicest person. I spoke to him for such a long time at that Bar Citizen. So approachable, so lovely, so willing to give you the time and listen. And he sat down and said, "Look, is there anything I can do with your YouTube channel? Is there anything I can help with? Is there any advice? Is there anything that you want from me?" He was just so willing to help, and
That's
he
awesome.
doesn't gatekeep or anything like that. He's just all round nice guy, good guy. Yeah, a lot of time for Board.
I know exactly who we would put in the E.
No, we're not talking negatively.
right.
I'm not talking negatively. Not a chance.
That makes a change.
Not live. Not
the
live.
individual.
I think
join the
I think
org.
my ease would be a lot different from your ease.
We can talk about this another time. But
just
yes, let's get that up. One more time. We'll get this out. Right, so you reckon I need to move this to you?
Really struggling to contain myself, so we got to wrap this up. I'm going to start rolling my chair away from the screen.
What's going on? There you go.
You can beep it in post if you need to. You need to make it the size that it can fit in the S row. Otherwise, put it top right corner in the S row. I don't waste my time to be in the A row. I want to be in S.
There you go. QD S.
Oh, content creators, Swanky Fisherman knighted me on his channel. I've never been knighted on a channel before, but he actually sang to me over Twitch. That was nice.
I too am a knight of the Swanky Shore.
Yes. And we both chose the same item to be knighted with.
Oh, I can't remember what it was.
It's a sword.
Oh yeah, obviously you have to be knighted with the sword, but I think you can get knighted
No,
with a plant part and all sorts.
There was like multiple things in there, and like I'm so glad that list isn't expanding because it could become ridiculous.
Okay, so there's only one real last thing for those. That's the final one last time, and for those you tuning in from the UK, we have a Bar Citizen happening in Stafford on the 3rd of August, and we welcome you all to come and attend 2 to 9 at Hogarth on the main road. It's gonna be incredible. It'll be good to see all your pretty faces and get to talk.
Who's going?
Well, I am, and you are. How about you? Are you coming?
I'm not.
No.
You picked
Stag do.
the one weekend that I actually had plans. Way before you even messaged me.
It was the one weekend where Easton didn't have plans.
That's how it
Yeah.
happens.
There's
It's how
others,
it happens.
but-
It's also I've just checked as I didn't even know where it was. It's 3 hours and 20 minutes from me, so It's a bit of a drive anyway. But I would have come. But I do genuinely have plans
Yeah, it's a shame.
already.
It is a shame because you're missing out on the lamb pie as well.
Yeah, I would have loved to. It was just I already had plans, and I don't like backing out on plans.
No, I
so
understand.
No,
it is what it is.
But hey, it's not that long now. We're almost in August.
Yeah.
We are. It's next weekend.
No.
No. I'm talking CitizenCon.
I know.
I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I was like, that's not how I wanted to go. I'm honestly like, I'm starting to feel the excitement for CitizenCon.
I need to sort out accommodation still.
Ooh. Okay.
Pretty sure
I'd
we
be able to
sorted
help you
that.
with that.
Haven't you?
Oh yes, no, we have.
You've got-
I haven't.
We do need to sit
yeah,
down
yes.
and redo it though because we have got one person which we don't have a location for at the
Yes,
moment.
and I haven't actually. I haven't paid you yet, so that's why I assumed I hadn't got it sorted out. But I will now sort it out.
Wait, so it's gonna be us three?
4.
4?
I thought the other guy, which I'm
CJ.
not. I'm only not mentioning his name.
No, it was
CJ.
It was CJ.
Oh,
was in with
CJ.
us,
I
but
thought
the
I thought
additional
Jesse.
person. Not coming.
Okay.
Not coming.
So yeah, I knew CJ was coming, but I thought Jesse was going to be there too.
But yes.
Right.
Thank you very much for joining in. What do you mean, what's this? Right, we'll talk offline. But thanks ever so much for joining in. We have been the Quantum Dispatch, and I can't find my button. But
Oh, the server's going funny. What's
oh
going on?
no, I don't.
Oh no! Oh no! Goddamn free fly!
Catch you later, guys.
Screwed it.
Oh, a totally unexpected 30k. Nah, see you later.
Oh.